Hello, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Melissa, and this is a place where I like to come and sit down and, tell all of you about what I've been working on. So I would like to, apologize if you hear noises in the background. My cats have just eaten breakfast, and they are quite crazy. So I hear them playing off in the living room, so just in case y'all hear any thudding or anything, it's probably them. Next, I would just like to thank everybody who is a returning viewer. A big welcome back, and thank you so much for joining me again. If you haven't done so already, feel free to like and subscribe down below. It would mean a lot to me. But other than that, thank you for all of the new viewers that are coming in to see, what I've been working on. Let's see. Don't think I have a ton to show today, so this probably will actually be a shorter video. I know I've said that many times, but I don't have any acquisitions to share, so this will be a very just kind of sweet little check-in type of video. I will say I'm a little bit more nervous today, not for filming, but I actually have a job interview today, so I'm nervous but excited about that. So I hope that it goes well. If not, I did put my application out to other companies as well, so fingers crossed for me. I hope that maybe next video I can give y'all good news. But other than that, I'm just a little trying to do a lot today. I'm preparing for that interview later on, but anyway, let's get into things. So let's start with some finished objects, shall we? Alrighty, so the only finished object I have, like full finished object, would be my Camisole number 2 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. So I finally finished it. I believe it was last week that I finally finished it. And I just finally got to a point where, I normally like to kind of go through my whips and knit a little bit on one and then knit a little bit on the others throughout each day to make better progress. But I just got to a point, and I think I may start doing this more, is just monogamous knitting. I found that just working on this solely, whoa, it finished up so fast. I was so excited about that. But anyway, let me show you it in a way that you can probably see it a bit better. So yeah, I made it cropped, and so it's like right about to my pant level, or top of my jeans, and these are high-waisted ones, so that's kind of what I was going for. I didn't want anything like too exposed, but I don't mind just like a little bit of skin, here and there being shown. I thought the top part made up really nicely, but yeah, I absolutely love it. I'm looking forward to making the next one. Let me show you the back part. So the back I thought made up really well too. I will also say this yarn is so nice. Like, I found myself just like kind of petting it. If that makes sense. Like, I sit here and I like to hold, like, not hold its hand, but I like to sit here and kind of like do this with it. I don't know why. But the Camisole was made out of Lindy chain by Knit Picks, and it so far is a very nice yarn. I actually really enjoy this yarn quite a bit. I know that I bought 3 originally, and I ended up buying a 4th just because I thought I was going to run out of yarn. I redid calculations, and I could have swore I needed the 4th, and turns out I didn't. For the entire tank top or camisole, I used 2 full skeins, and then I would say about half to 3/4 of the 3rd one. So the 4th one I'm probably going to use for, who knows, I may end up knitting a little dishcloth or something. I'll find a use for it. Or scrunchies. I've been thinking of doing scrunchies. The only thing with it being a linen and cotton yarn, it's not going to stretch very well, so it may not work well for a scrunchie, but maybe just a hair tie, like to make a little bow. Been playing around with that idea. I will say the great thing about this yarn is that there isn't the stretch. So for the tank top part, it's not stretching out. Like I wore this and I took a picture, and I'll try and insert maybe a couple of the pictures that I took. I know I posted them on Instagram already, but they were pre-soaking or washing. You know, I just put it on right after I finished it. I had to see the fit and see if I liked it, and I did. And so I went through my whole process because I'm a huge process knitter. I love the, you know, after I finish a project, I like to soak and block it. I do it with everything. It may be silly, but that's just my own little thing that I like to do. So anyway, I did that, and I think it actually is wearing a bit better. Like, it's not as clingy now. It is wearing a little bit looser after a soak and block, but it feels so nice. Absolutely wonderful. I really am enjoying it. It's not itchy at all. It doesn't have that like stiff feeling either that some cotton yarns are kind of known for. Like I know like the sugar and cream yarn, like 100% cotton, mostly I've ever used them for is like dishcloths. It does not feel like that, y'all. It feels so good and airy. Like I have not had the chance to wear it outside yet because here in North Dakota in America, it's starting to warm up. It is very slowly, but it's been a little windy lately, so it still has a little bite in the air. So it's a little cold still. But today, actually looking out of my windows, it looks beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful out. But I'm waiting for a perfect day to be able to wear this, and I'm just pairing it with like a little lacy cardigan type of outfit. I think I actually have it on in my picture that I showed also, but yeah, it's just really comfortable, really airy. I can't say enough of how much I enjoy the pattern. I feel like it's an easier pattern to actually knit up. I would say if you're a beginner knitter, this is a perfect project. Super straightforward. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to make another one at some point. I may not make another one really, really soon because I do know there are other things that I need to finish up, which I'll talk about more in my whip section, which, speaking of whips, let's head on over to whips, shall we? Okay, so for my whips, I've been working on some things. I've made huge progress on some of these items, which I'm very happy about. But I will say that depending on how it goes with this job interview, if I get the job, then depending on the schedule, you may see more monogamous knitting, even more. You may see progress on one item. For me, I feel like I'm kind of getting back into that because I feel like I'm making more progress when I can spend my entire free time, which in a day is maybe a couple of hours, honestly, even though at this point I have not been working while filming. I've been at home, being a homemaker, I guess, if you want to say it. But yeah, I have been trying to, one, keep on top of all of my chores. I love cooking, so I'm cooking every day, which means there's a lot of prepping, there's a lot of dishes that I'm doing constantly. We don't use a ton of paper towels, like, at all, and so a lot of our napkins are cloth, and so I'm having to do laundry and stuff because of that. It's just, I'm very busy. It may not seem like it, but I am, and I'm also one of those people, I'm one of the worst when it comes to watching anything with anybody that has ever tried to sit down and watch something with me will know that we put something on the TV and within, I would say, 30 minutes I'm up doing something. I've just always been that way. So I enjoy knitting. It does give me that, let's sit down and relax. That's kind of what actually that is what I love about it. It brings me happiness and joy. I feel like I'm being productive. So when I sit, I'm keeping my hands busy and my brain busy. So I feel like I'm doing something and I'm getting a beautiful item in return. But yeah, throughout the day, I would say in total, I probably only have like 2 hours, maybe pushing it at the max if it were a light day, maybe 4. And that's being generous. I really don't think there's ever a time that I get to sit down and knit and for 4 hours like that. Honestly, I think the most I get to knit at one time would maybe be 30 to 45 minutes. I do get a nice break when I'm doing laundry right now, which is nice. Because while the washer is going, I can sit down, catch up on podcasts, see what other creators and content providers are showing. So anyway, that's just a little snippet. And I just wanted to be upfront and honest with y'all that yes, I have these things to show at this moment, but maybe next time, depending on my working, if I'm going to be working at this new job or not, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. There may be a little bit less whips going on, but there will be more, hopefully, progress. But yeah, so yeah, let's start. Sorry about that little ramble. So I guess one of the little exciting things I can talk about would be the little bunny that I'm making. I will put a picture of her up on the screen. But yeah, I've been working on her slowly. This is a bunny that I'm making for Mavis, Brad's niece in Washington, and mine too. She's both of our nieces, but biologically she's Brad's niece. She's mine by marriage, but anyway, I finished up an ear. It's so cute. So there's the inside of all of this crazy. I'm just happy I got done with it. And honestly, I know in the last podcast I was mentioning about maybe making another set and doing duplicate stitching on top. And honestly, I got to a point where it's like, this is for a little girl. She's gonna be happy just to have a little stuffed bunny. And I do want to soak and block this piece along with the head that I've shown before. I didn't bring it in with me or I would have shown again, but I'm gonna soak and block them and see kind of if that loosens the stitches a little bit more. But yeah, I have a feeling even if it's still a little, under what I would call perfect, that's fine. I need to get past that because it is knitting. Those little imperfections, like I've said before, what make the item special, and that's how you know that it was handmade. But yeah, anyway, finished one of the little ears. I just need to get the second one made up, and honestly, these go really fast. In between this tank top and working on these other things, this one I literally just finished on Sunday, this past Sunday. And I just didn't want to cast on the second one right away. I may do that maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But anyway, there's the cute little ear to the bunny. So I got 2 little pieces made to it. Then next I actually finished the second sleeve to Brad's sweater. So here's sleeve 1. Or I guess technically this was sleeve 2. This was sleeve 1. So I've gotten both sleeves done and both blocked, or soaked and blocked. I'm so excited because I've actually gotten to cast on for the back piece. So here we are. And with the back piece, it's the same as, where's it at? There we go. As the sleeves. It's a tubular cast on. So that's what I went ahead and did here. I don't know if it's going to show up very clear. But yeah, I think I did a pretty good job with that. I really love a good tubular cast on. I think it's fun. But anyway, so I've gotten a little bit done on that. I was just able to do this yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it's the day before. And as y'all also know, speaking of days and stuff, I normally film on Mondays and I try to post on Wednesday, but I do believe, depending on how this job interview goes, I may be filming on a weekend day, but I will still try and post by Wednesday. The day of when I upload the video shouldn't change, just the day I film it, which just doesn't mean anything to y'all, but just in case anyone wants to know. But yeah, so there goes the back side of the body, which I'm so excited to like really get into. So that was one of the main reasons I was talking about like monogamous knitting. I may be jumping into this one a bit more. But yeah, so both sleeves are done. Just got that back piece to do, and then I believe I have to do a front piece and do up a collar, and it'll be done. So who knows, maybe by, oh gosh, if I'm optimistic, it'll be by April. That would be a long time if it took me until next April. I'm hoping to get it done by August. We'll just see how that goes. Second, I guess, or no, third work in progress would be the Musselburgh hat. And I showed a picture of it last week with the like what it will look like. I got a little bit of progress done, not a ton. So as you can see, like I went from this marker here up to here. So I mean, I got a little bit done on it. It's just such a small gauge that it doesn't look like much has happened. Because if I went an inch and like worsted, it would look like I hardly did anything, because worsted weight it would be like just a couple of rows, but a couple of inches on light fingering weight, that's a lot of work. It's like a couple of hours here and there throughout the days. But this will probably be a project if I do get the job during my break times. I may be able to put a couple of rows into this, so this may end up being my work break time little project, because it's just stockinette stitch. So who knows. It's a lot of fun though. Absolutely love the yarn, which I spoke about in the last podcast. It is by Cascade Yarns. It's the Alpaca Lace, and I have all of these things on my Ravelry. So if you're curious about the colors or what type of yarn it is, they are on my Ravelry, which I'll put on the screen right here. But yeah, pretty much I put everything on there, and if you want to, you can always go to my stash page on the Ravelry and take a look on there, and it shows pretty much all the yarns that I've shown in my acquisitions recently, all of that good stuff. So next, because I did say I would cast this on after I got my tank top done, or camisole done, is the Calla shawl, which I showed last time. and I will try and put a picture of it up on the screen. So I've made some good progress on it so far, and let me tell you, this is so joyful to work on right now. I have been finding so much joy with this project. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I love the texture in there. Oh God, I love it. I love the color, which I don't know if the color is going to show up very well because of the lighting that I have in here, but I would say it's kind of close to about in there. But yeah, I'm just working this up on some stitch markers that I've made. I have a little silver bee here that matches my tattoo. So I have a little silver bee, and then I have these little like jawbreaker looking candies here, which I absolutely love, with little glass beads on just little circle hoops that I've made. And then I have another one over here. Yeah, I just really enjoy making stitch markers. I think it's fun. It's always just been, for me personally, to make them. I don't know if I'll ever actually sell them or not. I don't know. But so far, I'm really loving this pattern. The fabric so far is extremely squishy. And then right now I have it caked up, but here is the yarn I'm using. I'll show it again. It is Yarn B, the highlights. It's really blowing out, but it's in the color Spa. It's a beautiful like green blue. It's gorgeous. I love it. And it has this beautiful like glittery kind of iridescent, I don't know if it's called like stellina. It's called metallic on here, but it's not scratchy or hard. It's very soft, so I don't even notice it when I'm knitting. And I know that a couple of skeins that I've had that are actually like $30 skeins with stellina, you can kind of feel it. And I don't know if it's just like the type of sparkle, whatever, but I know that this, I mean, $4.99 skein of yarn. It's very soft. You can't feel that glitter in there. I absolutely love this stuff. And I'm so excited when I finish this shawl because I can just chunk it in the washer and the dryer. Y'all. That's the benefit to acrylic. I don't have to actually like wait for it to dry, which I do. Like as a process knitter, I love soaking and blocking. I love that. But there are some items that it's like I really want to use it like right afterwards, so it kind of turns into a project knit, which I do kind of go back and forth. I do get the benefit of having that project knit, like I have to have that. I'm gonna make it for that purpose, right? So I get that, and this is one of those projects for me. I'm enjoying the process too, don't get me wrong, but I am so excited to be able to wear this and just snuggle in it, especially with the beautiful details about to come in. Hopefully by the next video I'll have some of those rows in there to show you kind of what the calla lilies look like in this project. I know other creators on here have also made this shawl, so you may have seen it before, but yeah, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. I'm really flying through this, y'all. This is going to be a very short episode, and I'm sorry if you do enjoy the longer videos. I just really haven't been getting up to too much, which I'll talk about all of that good stuff in a little bit. But to finish up the whip section, I will show you my temperature blanket, which I've been showing every week. And let me get up and be able to show you a bit easier. I've been able to use a lot of the mustard, guys. I'm so excited. I've been waiting so long to use this mustard. I cannot tell you how happy I am. Oh my gosh. So oh my gosh. I can't even explain the happiness that I got from using that color. I love mustard colors. Oh God. But isn't that fun? And you can definitely see where that blizzard week was. But yep, so this marker represents May 1st, so that little green row right there, the lighter green. And then, yeah, it's just been pretty much our dark olive color, mustard, more dark olive, and back to mustard. The temps are warming up, and literally, I think it was one day last week that I saw, you know, and I got really excited about it. I thought it said that it was going to be like 79 degrees, I think it was, and that would have meant I got to use my orange color finally, right? So I'm waiting patiently to pop this in there too. But this is why I don't just look at the week, you know, forecast and put them in at the beginning of the week. I like to do it day by day just because it does change very just drastically. As you can see more down here in my winter days, like it was changing almost daily. That is just how crazy the weather is here. So far, it's holding pretty steady now. It's anywhere from like 40s to 70s. Like that's how wild it is right now. Like on my chart, yeah, my olive green, the dark olive green is down to 54 degrees. So right here, but then that lighter green or medium green can go all the way down to 44 degrees. And that's what this color is. And mind you, it doesn't mean that when I put that, you know, I think it's kale color in right here, the medium green, so not this light green, but the medium, it doesn't mean that it's 44 degrees that day. It could be anywhere from 44 to 53 degrees. So same with this mustard. Most of the time, it hits just right at 67 degrees. And I get to put it in, but then like here, the next day, it dropped down to, I think, 65 degrees, so I had to go back down to the green. So it's a range. It's just a range. But I've noticed that it's starting to not settle, but just kind of mellow out a bit now. So I'm getting these bigger, bold lines in it, which I think is so cool looking, quite honestly. I think it is a very fun project. I know that other people have mentioned how they live in warmer climates and how they would like to possibly make some or a temperature blanket with, you know, more reds and purples because it doesn't get like, you know, super duper cold there, which I think is a great idea. Like honestly, I know that Brad and I have spoken about how we, you know, we may be moving here in a couple of years to warmer climates, and if that's the case, I would love to make another one there, and I would just like redo my temperatures altogether. If I knew that there were days that would have more spring temperatures, like down to like 60s or 70s, I would put those in there all the way up through maybe the hundreds, and I would just disperse them a bit more, kind of like what I did for the temps here. I think it's just a playful pattern, kind of fun project. It doesn't have to be exactly the temperatures I have written down. You can definitely play with it. You don't have to like stick to the same colors I have either. You can totally do whatever you want to with it. It's so much fun. So much fun. So that is my project so far. Yeah, so those are all of my whips currently that I've been working on. So yeah, thank you so much for coming in, sitting down with me, you know, just hanging out. I appreciate it so much. And I guess now I can just talk a tiny bit about myself, kind of what's been going on in my life, if you care to stick around and listen and chat. But if not, I totally understand. Thank you for coming in and saying hi, listening, and looking at all of my knitting stuff. I will see y'all next time. But for the ones that do want to stay, yeah, pretty much just grab whatever you want to sip on, and grab your knitting if you want, if you haven't already, and I will be right back and we can sit and chat for a bit. Couple of weeks, I mean, even before that, because I slightly mentioned it in the last video with my mom. So I am someone that does struggle with mental illness. I chronically struggle through depression spells, and also I have high anxiety. So these things, that's another one of the reasons I get nervous and stuff. Like when I first started this podcast, I was very shy. Like that's how I am. I am a very shy person, but since doing this on camera, I've grown more comfortable with it, and I feel like everybody that does come in and view always leaves such wonderful comments, and they're just, all of y'all are so sweet, and I appreciate it so much. Y'all have no idea how much I appreciate every comment that I get, because for me, I am someone that I am teaching myself. I'm going through these self-compassionate workbooks. I'm honestly someone, I don't think too high of myself. I'm extremely hard on myself. I am my own worst critic. Yeah, it's really hard for me to say that out loud, honestly. Because I know that some of you may think that, oh, her life must be perfect, everybody thinks that. I know I've thought that about other, people on YouTube that I follow. But it's not like that all the time. I don't think anybody's life is perfect, but I am, for myself, learning to be more compassionate to myself, because I am, in a way, if I hear that one of my friends is going through something or having just, some kind of scenario, I feel like I'm always there for them, and I always encourage them and try to do what's best for them, raise them up, but I never do that for myself. If something goes wrong or I mess up constantly in my head, I just attack myself, like beat myself up over it, and I've been trying really hard not to do that. But with that said, I have been dealing with a lot of depression lately. I'm finally starting to come out of that episode, but it was a very hard almost 4 weeks. It was almost like an entire month of dealing with a lot of stresses. But yeah, so I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, liking the video, leaving comments, even on Instagram, everybody over there that has liked my stories that I put on. I mean, it means so much. Like, just seeing that someone push the little heart button on Instagram on a story, it's like, oh, it does so much. Little acts of kindness are so wonderful. But yeah, sorry to make that such a sad little what I've been up to, but just in all honesty, I just sometimes aren't that fun, I guess. I wish I had more exciting things to talk about. But yeah, that's what's been kind of plaguing me, yeah. And it sucks because there's times where you feel, or that I feel like, what am I doing, but with friends, all of you there supporting me, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But yeah, other than dealing with that, I am getting to the brighter side of the episode. But yeah, we have been watching Formula One. I was really happy to watch the latest one in Miami. I was so happy to see that Max won. I was so excited about that. I'm also excited for this weekend because it's race weekend. Woo! Or Formula One race weekend. Because Brad and I have been getting more into the IndyCar racing because Grosjean is racing, and he used to be a Formula One driver and for Haas a couple seasons ago, and I absolutely adored him. I thought he was amazing, and if any of y'all follow Formula One, y'all would know about his horrible wreck in Formula One. It was, I mean, thank God for the halo system on those cars. It was, wow, it was the worst wreck I've ever seen watching. But Brad and I were watching that live too. Whenever it happened, he went through a barrier and cloud of smoke and flame go up, and he was in the car for what felt like forever. But no, I really think it's cool that he's still racing. I mean, it may not be in Formula One, but we found out he's racing in Indy, which is here in America, and so we started watching it here and there. And thankfully, with the Peacock app my sister lets me sign into on her account, we're able to stream it to the TV and watch it. So it's been a lot of fun. We watched that this past weekend, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I would love to go to a race. Maybe someday. But back to Formula One, I'm really excited for Max winning. I'm a huge Red Bull fan. I just absolutely think they're fantastic. I love Max and I love Perez. They're just, oh my gosh, I love them. But I like all of the drivers though. Like, I love watching Lando. Like, I feel like he's growing up and just doing so well. Like, I think honestly here in a couple of years I would not be shocked if he ends up champion. His skills are just getting better and better, especially with being on McLaren, who is Brad's favorite team. Brad loves McLaren, and so he's a big fan of Lando and Ricardo, or Daniel, who I think is like the biggest goober on the planet. Sorry, this is so much F1 talk, but I feel like looking at Daniel, I feel like he would be like your best friend at a party, if you know what I mean. He would be the funnest person to be around. But he's also an amazing driver. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to this weekend. Pretty much our race weekends start on Friday when they start practicing. And we watch all of it. Like, just, I can't get enough Formula One. I'm so excited. I know some of y'all may be Mercedes fans, and that's totally fine. Mercedes has been great. This year, though, they're struggling. I don't know what's up. But George Russell, oh my gosh, he is doing so well. I'm shocked with what he's doing with that car, because it seems like they're getting it a little bit more under control. They did finish pretty high up last race. I believe they were 5th and 6th. And that's pretty darn good, you know, honestly. And I'm just so proud of George. Like, he's freaking doing amazing work out there in that car. But he was also with Williams, you know, beforehand. So, I mean, he knows how to take the machine to the max level that he can take it to get a good, you know, position, finish, and some points. So that's always a bonus. But yeah, I'm excited to see that Haas is doing such a great job too. Gunther, it's like he hasn't been lying the past couple of seasons when he's been interviewed, saying like, oh, wait for the new series, you know, that's where everything's going. So yeah, the Haas team and Ferrari team are just kicking butt, it seems like. I know Ferrari's definitely gone from, like, you know, upper mid pack to top of the pack right now, so they're really kicking it. Haas has moved from pretty much bottom to like mid range, so that's nice to see. But anyway, trying to think of if there's anything else we've been doing. I've been knitting any chance that I get. I've been trying out new recipes here at home. I made a fish tacos last night, so we found some really good fresh caught cod, excuse me, from Costco, and I made a mango salsa with it, and we used some avocado, some guacamole, and corn tortillas, and had that for dinner last night. Tonight's leftovers, so probably more fish tacos. I've been playing around with this one recipe that I really love, is sweet potatoes. So for me personally, the way I've always had sweet potatoes has either been in a candied yam with marshmallows on top type of Thanksgiving side that's super sweet, or you bake it and you put like brown sugar in it and marshmallows. It's always been a sweet thing for me. The most savory item I ever had out of a sweet potato would be like a French fry, you know. So I didn't have a lot of diversity with sweet potatoes, but I started one day just playing around with like, well, what if I did this? What if I tried to do a savory type loaded potato with it? So I've been baking sweet potatoes. Just wrap them in foil, punch some holes in them type of deal. And once they're ready, I cut them in half, and I don't fully scoop them out, but I really fluff them up in the center. And then I put some ground beef, or you could always use a tofu too if you wanted to. You could always do tofu, grind it up, or like kind of just put it in the pan, let it crumble up, and put your seasonings on it. So if you wanted to use tofu, you totally could. But I was using ground beef in it, which also lamb would be really good too. If you're into lamb, I think that would be really good. But I just seasoned it with some taco spices. It is a taco blend spice that we just got from Costco, also this bigger tub, and it's really good spices in it. Oh my gosh. But I just put that on the meat, cooked it up in that. I put some tagine in there, but anyway, take your sweet potato, put the ground beef on top. I made a corn and black bean salad that I ended up putting on top of that, which was really good because the dressing on it was like this chipotle and lime kind of vinaigrette type of seasoning onto the corn salad. So that was on top of the meat portion, and then you just pretty much topped it. I used a chipotle lime aioli sauce on it with a little bit of guacamole, and it was really good. It was really good. So sweet potato, your meat or protein of choice, and then a corn and black bean salsa type salad, and then you use like a little drizzle of that aioli or sour cream and some guacamole. It is really good. It is really good. So I played around with that and really enjoyed that for a dinner. I made some gorgonzola little burger sliders one night, which was really good. Which all you do is you take your ground meat, you season it the way you like it for your burgers, and you throw some gorgonzola cheese in there, mix it all up, and you cook it as is. So you cook it with the cheese in it because it's a crumbly cheese. It's so good, so good. And we used I think it was a coconut curry aioli for that. Just a little bit, and we topped it with a pickle on the slider buns, so there wasn't a bunch of condiments. It was just those couple of items, and it was really good. But you could always do a spicy ketchup with it as well. So if you didn't want to use a curry coconut aioli, you could always do a half and half blend of sriracha and ketchup, mix that up. And honestly, one of my favorite things to do to that is if you have curry powder, put in a teaspoon of curry powder. So if you do like 2 tablespoons of sriracha, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, put a teaspoon or 2, depending on how pungent or flavorful you want that curry flavor. Put that in there, mix it up. It is really good. It's a spicy like ketchup curry sauce. It's really good on lamb sliders. So if you have little lamb patties that you want to make, use that. It is really good. trying to think of any other recipes I've been trying lately, because that's what I've been doing mostly, is just I've been really playing around with fun new recipes. Yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment. But yeah, anyways, I think that is about it for me today. I better get all this packed up because I need to start prepping for that interview. So thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out with me. Please leave a comment down below. I really do love hearing from all of you and being able to respond and talk to you guys. But yeah, I just thank you all. I thank you all for being here. But yeah, definitely subscribe if you enjoy this content. And I will see you, not next week, but the week after. So I do try to post every other week. And I will see you all next time.